Hi everyone, we're here with Kerin O'Keefe, who's a bit of an Italian and wine specialist, apparently.
Hi.
What makes you an Italian wine specialist?
Well, I've written several books on Italian wine for the University of California Press. I've written one on Brunello and one on Barolo and Barbaresco. So I really love the native grapes, Sangiovese and Nebbiolo, and we had their master class on those grapes today. And I'm the Italian editor at Wine Enthusiast.
And you also still have white teeth, which is amazing considering you
Well,
drink so much of that red wine.
But that's because it's Nebbiolo and Sangiovese. They are lighter in color than most wines, but it's their natural, beautiful color.
Now, we are in Biella,
Yes.
which is in Piedmont,
Yes.
and we're here to taste some great wines, but this is almost like an undiscovered part of Piemonte.
It absolutely is. This is an area that at the beginning of the 1900s had 110,000 acres. That's about 40,000 acres under vine. It was one of the most important areas for wine production in all of Italy, not just Piedmont. You had a series of events, including a 1905 hailstorm that wiped out the production completely. At the same time, because of the unique water here in the Biella Hills, you had an industry, the textile industry, start up. So you had all these factories that were working with wool and cashmere start up. So in 1905, after this horrific hailstorm that wiped out Nebbiolo, the main grapes here would be Nebbiolo, and then some Vespolina, some Croatina, some Uberara.
Yes.
And
There'll be a spelling test after this.
Yes, there'll be a spelling test after this. A lot of the farmers just said, "That's it, I'm done," and they left.
They're out.
And they went to work in the factories, the textile factories. And for decades, this area was completely abandoned. In fact, we're seeing here some beautiful vineyards, but when Ermidio Di Betta took on the property,
Yes.
there was nothing here. There are other areas where there are just all woods. In fact, this was all woods. There are other areas here that within all the woods we're seeing everywhere inside are vineyards, or abandoned vineyards.
That's what I thought was quite interesting,
Yes.
because there were probably 50 and 60-year-old vines in there, but they were overgrown.
Absolutely.
And when we
absolutely.
cleared it, we thought we'd be keeping those vines, but
Right.
obviously they were too far gone.
Most of the time they're too far gone. Sometimes the people have been able to recover them, but most of the time these vineyards in the woods are just too far gone, and they're replanting. But there have been a few people have been able to keep some older vines. Some families were able or wanted for passion to keep them, but the big takeaway here is if you look at the area you're now and you're seeing hills covered with woods and you're seeing a lot of factories, well, at the turn of the century and up until World War II, this was completely all vineyards.
Okay. But now it's come back to life, which is why it's kind of like
has.
and it's really happening just in the last 10 years, you would say.
Yes, it's a very exciting area. I'll do a little name dropping here if that's okay.
Sure, go for it.
In 1999, Paolo De Marchi, he is a producer from the famous Isole Olena Chianti
Yes.
Classico property. He decided to come back and revive his family property along with his son Luca, and he basically came back and started to find the old vineyards that he used to summer here.
Yes.
In Lasona, and their first vintage was 2004. Other people noticed they noticed how nice the wine was, how vibrant it was. In Lasona we have this unique sand. It's yellow sand of ancient marine origin, and it gives the wines this precise, focused character. They have almost a salty finish, and basically reviving this winery brought back a lot of other people. So we are really in the midst, it's so exciting here right now, of we say it a lot, but this is a real renaissance of winemaking here.
It's like the undiscovered Piemonte,
It is. It
established in
absolutely is.
1671
It is.
or
It
something
absolutely
like
is.
that.
It absolutely is. And another thing that I'd like to point out is the alcohol levels, even the fact that we're having global warming, or climate change, is having an effect here that the wines, the grapes are reaching ideal maturation, so you're getting balanced wines, lovely mineral aspects, and they're very, very, they're not too high in alcohol, so you're usually seeing between 13 and 13.5% alcohol. You're seeing Nebbiolo in other regions that are now reaching 15.5, which is starting to become an issue.
Major issue, because
yes.
people need to go to the restaurant and then drive home afterwards.
Absolutely.
Legally.
So it's an area I'm very, very excited about, and I think it's wonderful that other people are coming in to discover them. So
Hey, well, let's tell the world. Come and discover
The Hills of Biella.
The Hills of Biella.
Yes.
There you go. Hey, cheers. Thanks
Cheers.
for coming.
Thank you, Drew.
And follow
Thank
her
you.
on Instagram and Facebook and all the other places.
Thank you.
Kerin O'Keefe. Look that name up.
Cheers.